Welcome to Chochom on the Daf. Your sponsor, Lord Ishvas. I'm back with Shalom Le'abazitzchok. We're holding Basra Daf from Zayin. In the end of Amud Beis, the Gemara brings Shulchan shetamei ketzad. How does a table at Talmid Chochom look like? So the Gemara says Shnei Shlish Gdil v'Shlish Galoi. The Rashbam explains 2/3 are covered with a tablecloth and 1/3 is revealed, and that's where the food and dishes are. But the Gemara then says, Amaharetz is different. Amaharetz, he has the dishes and the food, everything there in the middle of the table. The Mefarshim go on to explain this, al-pi Drush, in different ways. The Shla, Shara Tiyos, Oimek Brochasi Vov, explains as follows. He says, when it says the Shnei Shlish or Gdil, the Shnei Shlish means 2/3, means 2 parts that the Chochom does during his meal. What are the 2 parts that he does during the meal? A, he's learning Torah during the meal, and B, he feeds the poor. And that's called Gdil. The Torah is called Gdil because he megadal Torah v'ramam Torah, and to feed a poor person is called Gdil because that's tzedakah. It's the best tzedakah, and that's called tzedakah teroi mem goy. So now, what does it mean? The third is galoi. So after he feeds the poor and he learns Torah on his table, so then the last third, which means the food and drink, that also joins to become like a korban in the mizbeach. I mean, that part, which is not part of a deal, it joins the kedusha. It says, what's shat? It's called galoi because we're talking about this lashon gilui. Refers to any physical thing that you do out in public. It's called gilui. And why does it say a third? And that's another Musa Aska we spoke about in previous shurim, that a person should not eat fully until he's fully satisfied. He should leave a little room for himself. And that's another reason it's called galoi, because he leaves some room open. The Yoda says the 2/3 deal, we're talking about 2 parts of Torah, either talking about the remez and Drush, and then they help someone to learn begalai, the pshat, or 2/3 deal referring to Torah shebechtav and Torah shebal peh, and galai means musaf derech. So it talks about how the Talmid Chochom learns Torah. The Talmud Yaakov Yosef, Chassidish Sefer, on Parshas Behar, explains the following. He says, what does it mean? What is the 2/3 that we're talking about? He brings the Beis Yosef that says that what's the difference between a poyel and a Talmid Chochom? The poyel needs to learn on Shabbos all what he missed during the week. So he says, well, how does that work? It goes like this. The day is 24 hours, and it needs to be divided this way. 8 hours, person needs to learn Torah and daven. 8 hours, he has to work, and 8 hours, he has to sleep. Pashas, means sleep and take care of his physical needs. And that's the remez. It says, as taskil, as is aleph zayin, that's 8 hours of learning Torah. As tatzliach, aleph zayin, to go and work. As yashanti, aleph zayin, to sleep. So he does a cheshbon like this. The workers, how long do they spend from the 8 hours they need to? They also have to go and daven. So he says that they spend in davening 3 hours. It's probably a different generation where davening took 3 hours. So 3 hours is the davening. So what they're not using is 5 hours a day that the Chochom is using. How many days are you supposed to use that? That's 5 days a week, because Friday anyway we're busy with Achanis to Shabbos. So 5 times 5 is 25. Now Shabbos is 25 hours. Why? Because you have 24 hours is 1 day, plus you have to do Tosefes Shabbos another hour. So the entire Shabbos is 25 hours. So the 25 hours of Shabbos, they replace the 25 hours that Poyalni missed during the week. So that's a nice word that he says based on what the Poyalni have to mashlim. But what do you learn from this whole point, says the Talmud Yaakov Yosef? That the way it's supposed to be is supposed to be a third in Torah, and a third in work, and a third in sleep. But the Talmid Chochom, even the third that he's working, is also Yosef Torah. Because he's thinking and learning, and he's dealing with learning even the time that he's working. So by him, he has learning 2/3 of the day. He's learning the 8 hours he's supposed to, and another 8 hours that he's working as well. So he says that's what it means that the table of Talmid Chochom is 2/3 Gdil. It means that he connects together the Ruchni and the Gashmi, the learning Torah and the work. He guided them together. And then the last third for sleeping and other needs, that's galoi, that's even Talmid Chochom does without being busy and learning. Mashenken Amaretz, his whole table is nothing to do with learning, nothing to do, he's not connected to any learning. Everything is only to be busy with the eating and drinking and indulging this world. Anyone who wants to join the Shomachshava email list for WhatsApp group, please email shomachshava@gmail.com.